Long ago, in the heart of Ghana, the animals of the forest lived together under the watchful eyes of Nyame, the sky god. The forest was full of laughter, palm wine tapping, and gossip louder than the drumbeats during a Bokye festival. Among the animals, one stood out not for his size, nor his speed, but for his cunning. This was the tortoise. Small, slow, but sly as a market woman haggling at Kajeshia market. Now, one day, word spread across the land that the sky god was throwing a grand feast in the heavens. Every animal was invited, the antelope, the elephant, even the tiny mouse. The feast would be full of jollof rice, Kelawel palm wine, roasted tilapia food, so sweet even the smell could make your knees weak. But there was one problem. The feast was in the sky, and none of the animals could fly that high. The birds, proud with their wings, gathered and said, "We shall go. Each of us will carry one feather from our wings and give them to whoever is too weak to fly, so we can all reach the heavens together." Tortoise, who was listening from the shadows, stepped forward with a fake humble smile. "My brothers, my sisters, how kind of you. But you know, I am weak and slow. Will you not help me, too?" The birds, foolish in their generosity, agreed. Each plucked one feather and gave it to Tortoise, until he had enough to make a pair of wings. And so, together, they flew to the heavens, flapping and laughing, while Tortoise flapped awkwardly with his borrowed feathers. But here's where his greed began. When they arrived, Nyame himself welcomed them and asked, "And what is your name, traveller?" Tortoise, slick as palm oil, bowed and said, "Ah, great one, my name is all of you." The sky god raised an eyebrow but said nothing. When the food was finally served, mountains of steaming waki, fried plantain, bowls of enkate and kwanstutha, sky god declared, "This feast is for all of you." Immediately, Tortoise leaped forward, licking his lips, and shouted, "You heard him. He said it is for all of you, and I am all of you." And just like that, he devoured the jollof, swallowed the palm wine, licked the kelawel until not even the pepper crumbs were left. The other animals watched in shock, their eyes bulging like calabashes. He even had the audacity to belch and pat his stomach. The birds were furious. They shouted, "Greedy liar, trickster, this is scandalous." They rushed at him, plucked their feathers back, and left him stranded in the sky with no way home. Tortoise, panicking, begged them, "My brothers, my sisters, don't leave me like this. How will I return?" But the birds ignored him, flying back down to the forest to gossip about his shame. Now, alone in the heavens, Tortoise looked down at Ghana far below. The villages looked like tiny kente patterns, the rivers like silver beads. He knew he had to get down somehow. He looked around and called out to his wife on earth, "Oya, my dear wife, bring out all the soft things from the house. Lay out the mats, the cloths, the pillows, even the fufu mortar. Make a soft landing for me." But here's the twist. The animals had already whispered the scandal to her. She knew what he had done. Furious and embarrassed, she shouted back, "Soft landing. After disgracing us, after eating alone and leaving me to suffer gossip from the market women, ho, if you want to fall, fall on the hardest stones. That will teach you." So instead of mats and pillows, she laid out rocks, pestles, and broken pots. Tortoise, thinking he had a soft bed waiting, closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and jumped. He tumbled from the sky, spinning and screaming until crash, he hit the stones and shattered into pieces. His shell broke into 1,000 fragments. But Nyame, watching from above, had mercy. He commanded the villagers to gather the pieces and glue them back together. That is why, to this very day, the tortoise's shell is cracked all over, a reminder of his greed, his lies, and his scandalous trick at the feast of the sky god. And so the animals say, if you eat alone, you will crack alone.